This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Our top story, the Vice President of the United States campaigning on the Suncoast. Joe Biden campaigning for Hillary Clinton and is expected to speak any minute now at the Robert L. Taylor Community Center in Sarasota. ABC7's Haley Wilgus joins us now live from the event to set the scene for us. Haley?
Good evening, Scott. We are waiting for Vice President Joe Biden to start speaking. He is running a little behind schedule, which is usual with these campaign events. He was in Orlando earlier. He was speaking at a voter registration event, and he hit Trump hard on a few accounts. First of all, his 3 a.m. Twitter rant last week, also his foreign policy and comments about taxes during last week's debate. Now, we know there has been a New York Times article out about Trump's taxes just today. Now, earlier we spoke to some Suncoast residents about why they are here at the Biden event and supporting Hillary Clinton for president.
We need a great commander-in-chief, and Hillary's that. She's got all kinds of experience, and, you know, we don't need another generation of kids going off to war and getting killed by somebody who just makes bad decisions.
Now, she was talking about Trump indirectly, but Vice President Joe Biden did not mince words in Orlando earlier today, calling the actions of Donald Trump beneath the dignity of the office of the President of the United States. So we will see what he has to say about Trump this evening and why he thinks Suncoast residents should head to the polls and vote for Hillary Clinton in this election. Now, Scott, from what we're hearing, Vice President Biden should be here at any moment. He should be taking the stage in just a few minutes. And when that happens, we will bring that to you live. Scott, back to you.
All right, Haley. Haley Wilgus reporting live for us in Sarasota. Thank you, Haley. President Obama will visit Tampa later this week. The president will be at the University of South Florida in Tampa on Wednesday. He plans to discuss the progress made by his Affordable Care Act. President Obama's team says USF has led efforts to sign people up for health insurance and offers a diverse set of training programs for health professionals. All tickets for the public have already been distributed. Well, Hurricane Matthew, still a major Category 4 storm at this hour. It's now moving closer and closer to several Caribbean islands. Millions of people are bracing for strong winds and potentially catastrophic flooding. The hurricane is already impacting parts of Haiti, Jamaica, and Cuba. Forecasters say the storm could dump more than 3 feet of rain in some areas.
We are expecting that there will be landslides, and that will mean also damage to agriculture. Be prepared. That's the best advice.
More than 1,300 emergency shelters have been set up across Haiti, where thousands of people have been living in makeshift tents since the 2010 earthquake there. In Cuba, hundreds of American families have evacuated the U.S. Navy base at Guantanamo Bay. The storm has already claimed one life. A 16-year-old boy who was killed on the island of St. Vincent. Here in Florida, Governor Scott signing an executive order today declaring a state of emergency for every Florida county due to the severity and magnitude of the hurricane. And again, let's get to Bob for more on the storm.
That's right. And the reason why they just declared that, the governor, because now Florida is back in play. As we anticipated last week, that cone is going to flip-flop back and forth because there's so many different variables that can direct the storm system, from a low pressure in the Gulf to a high pressure to the east of the Bahamas to another little low just off the Carolina coast. So all these factors coming into play, and it's still a well-defined system, and it has been since Friday when it was a Category 5. It's still now a Category 4, 140-mile-an-hour winds, and deep convection starting to develop to the south as well as now to the north. And it doesn't appear that it's going to lose much punch as it heads right toward Haiti now. A little bit better idea. It looks like Jamaica is going to get some of that, but not nearly as much as Haiti is going to get as the storm system makes landfall. Looks like sometime tomorrow morning. Again, looks like the storm will then continue on into Guantanamo, right through Cuba into the central Bahamas, all under a hurricane warning now. And then notice what happens after day 2. This is Wednesday at 2 o'clock. It starts to shift to the west, northwest, and a lot of the models are starting to agree with that shift. The UK Met, in particular, which is the United Kingdom Meteorological Department, is now showing it over the east coast of Florida. So that one is showing it there. And on top of that, the European is now in agreement with the GFS, continuing to cover over the northwest Bahamas and possibly right on in to Florida. So I would not be too surprised to see this even shift farther at the 11 o'clock advisory toward the west. So we'll have to keep a close watch on that, and eventually heading off toward the Carolina coast. The forecast models indicate that it is going to go through the Bahamas, then eventually it diverges. Some of them take it off to the east while others take it to the west. By the way, the Canadian model does take it further off to the east of the United States. So we'll hopefully the Canadian model works out. For us, it has been a tremendous afternoon with heavy rainfall, torrential downpours, and that continues right now. In fact, there are advisories out. Just look at the explosion of storms now over Charlotte County. This has nothing to do with Matthew, by the way. There's a trough of low pressure in the Gulf and just enough moisture in the atmosphere creating torrential rains from Venice to Northport to Port Charlotte. Advised not to drive right now throughout South Sarasota or Charlotte counties. More on our forecast in a few minutes. Scott, back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Another murder investigation in Manatee County tonight, the 15th of the year so far. Sheriff's deputies say they found the victim on the side of First Avenue in Palmetto shortly after midnight. Investigators believe 18-year-old Alexander Anderson was shot and killed there. No arrests have been made yet. Again, this latest murder case makes 15 for the year, which is the same number as all of last year in Manatee County. Some are concerned this year's count could end up even higher.
You could have 2 or 3 in a week span, and then you might not have one for a couple of months. So hopefully that'll be the case now, but again, you just don't know.
I've had enough. I've been had enough since last year, you know, and it's to the point right now where I'm just, you know, I'm angry.
There's no word yet on a motive for this latest Palmetto murder. A woman handling money for a Manatee County elementary school group is now facing felony charges. The treasurer for the parent-teacher organization at Seabreeze Elementary in Bradenton accused of stealing thousands of dollars. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from the school with the latest on this story. Rick?
Yes, Scott, the money was supposed to go to kids here at the school, but now a treasurer finds herself in some pretty hot water. It's a theft that has shocked the Seabreeze Elementary School community. 29-year-old Jessica Loriano, a treasurer with the parent-teacher organization, ended up behind bars. Loriano is accused of stealing more than $6,000 from the organization.
She was using the money from the PTO for personal expenses, and this went on for well over a year.
The school realized what was going on when the bank contacted them, informing them they had no money left in their account. An investigation by the Manatee County Sheriff's Office reveals 59 unauthorized transactions by Loriano between 2014 and 2016.
One of the problems you have when you have organizations like this, you may only have one person who kind of oversees all the money, and that's really not a good idea. You need to have checks and balances.
John Roberts lives next door to the school. He tells us he was very surprised to hear what happened.
I think it's terrible. You steal from kids, and somebody should be watching somebody.
In a statement from the Manatee County School District, they say the school district has fully cooperated with law enforcement in the investigation of the treasurer of the Seabreeze Elementary School PTO for misuse of PTO funds. She has been removed from her position as treasurer, and this remains an ongoing criminal investigation. Jessica Loriano has been charged with scheming to defraud, a third-degree felony. She has been released from jail after posting her bail, which was set at $15,000. Loriano could not be reached for comment, and we also did not hear back from the parent-teacher organization. Reporting live from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Sarasota County health officials say it's now safe to swim at all area beaches. The no-swim advisories that had been in place at Turtle and Nokomis beaches since last Thursday were lifted today. Sarasota County health officials say they received testing results back today, and bacteria levels meet federal and state standards. Now, all advisories from last week have been lifted, although red tide is still impacting area beaches. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the Seminole Tribe of Florida is fighting for its right to have blackjack tables. Now, the outcome could affect gambling across the state. And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Lots of rain in our area and the latest on Hurricane Matthew. And don't believe everything you read, a new study that will have you looking twice at your gluten-free products. That's coming up in Health Smart.
What does it mean when New South Window says factory direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2016 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Complimentary maintenance included. At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Controversy surrounding the appeal of a Jacksonville man's death sentence. The Circuit Court of Appeals ruled last year that John Hardwick's lawyer did not adequately represent him. The court ruling Hardwick's lawyer should have brought up evidence of his client's troubled childhood and history of drug abuse, both of which could have led to a lesser sentence. Florida officials argued Hardwick told his attorney not to present the evidence and prevented him from locating witnesses that could testify about his abuse. Supreme Court justices now refuse to hear that appeal. Hardwick was convicted of killing a 17-year-old boy after a drug dispute back in 1984. The Seminole Tribe of Florida and the state are going after each other in a federal trial that could affect the future of gambling here. The trial that started today could decide whether the tribe can continue to have blackjack tables at its casinos. The dispute started last year when the tribe sued the state after key portions of a 2010 gambling deal expired. The state countersued and said the Seminoles had to remove those blackjack tables. Governor Rick Scott then reached a new deal with the tribe last December that would let them keep those blackjack tables and add games such as craps and roulette, but state lawmakers rejected it. Construction will soon begin on State College of Florida's new library and learning center. SCF's president, board members, and other representatives on hand this morning for the groundbreaking ceremony. This new center will go up right next to the Neal Auditorium on SCF's Bradenton campus. It will include a student service center, archive and meeting rooms, and a film production studio cafe. SCF's president calls the space transformative for its students.
This is where students will go to expand the knowledge that they get in the classroom. This is where they can get resources from a librarian, where they can reach out outside of the books that are within the confines of that building through technology to expand their learning.
When we are making an investment in a facility like this at the state level, we are empowering people to go throughout the state and create jobs and create economic opportunity and to innovate.
Project will cost more than $17 million. SCF is also working to raise more than $1 million for equipment and furnishings. The center is expected to be done by January of 2018. Well, right now, the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, is in Sarasota campaigning for Hillary Clinton. He has just stepped up to the podium at the Robert L. Taylor Community Center in Sarasota. Let's listen in live.
And you don't have to answer now, but I want to ask you a question. Have you ever, in your wonderful life, ever seen a less qualified candidate than Donald Trump? In your whole life? My name is Joe Biden. I work for a guy who's a part-time former state treasurer down here. I work for Bill Nelson. And Bill said, I'm the real deal. What that means is no one ever doubts I mean what I say, but sometimes I say all that I mean. And I ain't changing now. Folks, look, you got an incredible opportunity here. As usual, Florida holds the key. No, I'm not being, it's not hyperbole. We win Florida, Hillary wins Florida. There is absolutely zero path for this man to make it to the White House. Folks, last week I was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and he asked me, I was on there too, I didn't see that. But Jimmy asked me, and it was serious, he said, have I ever seen a presidential debate focus so much on fact-checking? And my answer was, and I meant it, it was spontaneous, I said, I've never seen a candidate who knows so few facts.
That's Vice President Joe Biden speaking to a large crowd there at the Robert L. Taylor Community Center in Sarasota. We're going to follow along with that speech and go back to Haley Wilgus live at 6 o'clock. Find out what he had to say this afternoon in Sarasota as he campaigns for Hillary Clinton. Let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for more on Hurricane Matthew and our rainy weather here on the Suncoast. Bob.
Yeah, I wish the weather was a little bit better for the Vice President here. Anna Maria webcam showing right around 2:30. Watch it just come down, and over 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches of rain in just about an hour's time, with winds gusting as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour. Rod and Reel Pier out there in Anna Maria reporting a wind gust at 50 miles an hour, at least estimate at 50 miles an hour. Those winds, they'll stay generally out of the east and northeast throughout the day tomorrow. The good news again with the red tide blowing it offshore mainly. However, those winds will pick up a little bit by Wednesday, but more so Thursday and Friday. A little breezy around town. It could get even windier depending upon the future path and track of Matthew. Right now, heavy rain. You can see that just a lot of rainfall in the Gulf of Mexico and over South Florida. All that moisture moving in our general direction. So we can expect showers and storms to continue to fire off through this evening over the next several hours, and especially in South Sarasota. We had a big round earlier into Manatee County, and that caused some problems with some flooding, and low-lying roadways are getting inundated with heavy rainfall there, so wash-off continued. Northport now, frequent lightning strikes. Port Charlotte all the way to Punta Gorda and Rotunda this afternoon. Englewood has been hit hard with nearly 2 inches of rainfall. And as far as the hail forecast goes, this is over the next 30 minutes. You may experience some small-size hail, maybe up to pea size, and that is throughout the Port Charlotte area all the way to Northport. And lightning, a big factor, and this is going to be over the next 30 minutes at least, and maybe even longer. These storms moving off to the northwest at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Now, rainfall amounts I mentioned earlier, nearly 2 inches near the Ellington Mall, where the roadway was underwater there at 301, and 2.2 near Longboat and Siesta Key, and also here northwest portions of Anna Maria Island. They had nearly 2 inches of rainfall. Palmetto 2 inches, and there it is near Ellington at nearly 2 inches of rain in just a short period of time, and that's hard for the ground to handle, so it just washes off into the roadways, causing some minor flooding problems there. At 79 now, we have some clouds and the dew point 74, so that dew point temperature is still very high, and with that warm, moist air continuing to be around tomorrow, we can expect some showers and storms to be scattered about. Temperatures have cooled down into the low to mid 70s where it's raining right now. The water Gulf of Mexico temperature now at 86 degrees. Well, the overall forecast now, there are many different factors coming into play as far as Matthew's forecast is concerned, especially at day 4 and 5. As the time goes by, though, it's more likely that Haiti is going to take the direct impact with 140-mile-an-hour winds as it makes its way to the north. Jamaica under a hurricane warning, as well as the western portion of Hispaniola, all throughout the central and northwest Bahamas, at least the central Bahamas under hurricane warning, a hurricane watch in effect for the Northwest Islands. And we could certainly, at least Florida, could certainly get into a hurricane watch as early as tonight or tomorrow, depending upon whether this track continues to shift off to the left and west. And it has over the past 24 hours kind of moved back and forth now. But a lot of the models are coming into agreement that the high pressure ridge is going to actually build in a little bit more. That's driving it now. And it looks as though it may push a little bit further off toward the west in time. So we just have to watch it here. As far as our forecast is concerned, we are not anticipating anything too rough right now, but we still have to watch it very closely if things start to change. Northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out there. Scattered storms in the forecast. Tides upcoming on your screen. And as far as the forecast goes for tonight, isolated storms, showers, and storms continuing. After midnight, the rain chance drops. Tomorrow, 40% chance for storms in the morning, but it jumps up to 50 in the afternoon. And the extended forecast is calling for a good chance for showers and storms at least through Thursday. And then we may even get drier and cooler as a result of Matthew going on by and those winds shifting more to the northwest. Scott?
That would be nice. All right. Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Right now, no crashes in the area. Sarasota, Manatee County is looking good. And even I-75, mostly green on the map, just a little bit of yellow, slowdowns, but no red, which is nice to see at this hour. In health news tonight, health officials are urging Americans not to delay getting a flu shot after vaccination rates fell by 1.5% from 2014 to last year. Now, this recommendation contrasts reports circulating earlier this month that suggested elderly people may want to wait to get the flu shot because it's unclear how long vaccination protection lasts. But the CDC now says do not wait, especially for older adults who are disproportionately affected by the flu. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older to get a flu shot. Some foods that have labels leading you to believe they are wheat or gluten-free may still have trace amounts of those ingredients. That's according to a study by Gluten Free Watchdog. Researchers tested 101 foods sold in the United States. That did not include ingredients known to contain gluten, such as wheat, barley, rye, malt, or brewer's yeast. These foods were not labeled gluten-free, but consumers might assume they are because gluten-containing substances were not on the ingredient list. Only some of the products had warning labels saying they might contain some gluten. Of the 87 products that did not have warnings, 13 of them tested positive for gluten. Coming up next, orphaned manatees saved from the Florida Keys, what one aquarium is doing to make sure they survive. And it's probably the only place in the world where you can see this many hot air balloons in the sky all at the same time. Those stories when we come back.
The all-new MySuncoast.com. Just another way we're here for you.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today for deals worth celebrating during the Jeep Celebration event. Come shop the area's largest selection of Jeep Wranglers or check out a new Jeep Cherokee priced as low as $19,999. Stop by to see the stylish new Jeep Renegade starting at just $17,699. Or drive away in a new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass & Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass & Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Several families in Houston, Texas lost all their personal belongings after a two-alarm fire at their apartment. That fire broke out around 5:30 this morning. Neighbors ran from unit to unit, banging on doors to make sure everyone got out. Among the tenants was a pregnant woman with several children and a dog. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and the Red Cross is now working with those victims. Two surfers survived shark bites on Florida's East Coast. One man was swimming in New Smyrna Beach Saturday when he was bitten on his side. Another surfer was nipped the next day on his foot. Both men refused medical treatment.
It just makes me not want to go out in the ocean a lot. It makes me not want to go in the deep end, and just not at all. They got lucky, and they're in my prayers.
There have been 14 shark bites in the county so far this year. That's an increase from previous years. That's in the country, by the way. At least 3 people were bitten by sharks one day last month. Another successful rescue for Florida Fish and Wildlife. They recently recovered 2 baby manatees in the Florida Keys. Their mother was found dead, most likely killed by a boat strike. She had been nursing the twin calves, which were born in May. The babies were taken to an aquarium in Miami, where they'll now be examined and rehabilitated, and we hope one day released. Colorful sight in the skies of New Mexico for the kickoff of the 45th annual Albuquerque Balloon Festival. Hundreds of balloons went in the air, many of which were shaped like cartoon animals. The festival will be going on all week long and feature balloon races and other competitions. That balloon fiesta is the world's largest hot air balloon event. Look at them all. That is an incredible sight. Well, up next, the latest on an FSU student accused of murdering and biting the face of one of his victims, plus a cyber threat that could affect thousands of ballots for the general election. Our registration databases could be jeopardized when we come back.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation, and everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts and 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.